If your supplement cabinet is starting to look like a pharmacy shelf, you're not alone. I have met so many health conscious people who are taking 10 to 20 plus supplements a day, thinking that's what's required to be healthy. But the truth is, you can get 90% plus of the nutrition that your body needs if you're very intentional about eating the most nutrient dense foods. And I want to create this video to share with you how I have dramatically scaled back my supplements while increasing my health. And I'm going to share with you the supplements that I still do take. Now, I'm not anti-supplement. I take some on a daily basis that I'm going to cover in this video, and my company even makes them and sells them online. But I think a lot of people have gotten to this place of taking so many things, not knowing what's actually working, and they feel trapped and they're spending a lot of money on stuff that could actually be covered by a proper eating plan. So in creating this video, I want to divide it into two sections. The first section, I'm going to cover 10 of the most nutrient dense foods that if you build your eating plan around these, most of your bases are covered. And in the second section, we're going to go over 12 of the most common supplements, things like collagen, omega-3s, probiotics, protein powder, vitamin D. And I'm going to give you my commentary on which of these can be covered from whole foods eating and which of these are still a good idea to supplement. Let's dive on in. So part one, these are the foods with the highest nutrient density, meaning they have the highest amount of vitamins, minerals, and beneficial compounds with the macronutrients like the proteins, fats, and carbs and fiber that your body needs. Here they are. Number one is liver, beef liver, chicken liver, cod liver. These are so rich in fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, vitamin K2, as well as B12, iron, and copper. 2, sardines. These are rich in protein, omega-3s, the calcium because you actually get the bones, and vitamin D3. 3, whole eggs. They have that rich protein from the white, the choline in the egg yolk that's great for your brain health, vitamin A, D, K2, biotin, selenium, an amazing food. Number 4, avocados for the healthy fats, the prebiotic fiber, the vitamins, the minerals, and it helps control the glycemic response of all your meals. Number 5, dark green leafy vegetables. My favorites are arugula, bok choy, and dandelion greens because they're lowest in oxalates while having all the minerals, the magnesium, the calcium, the folate, the vitamin K. Number 6, grass-fed and grass-finished meats for the protein obviously, but also the B vitamins, the heme iron, and the healthy fats. Number 7, nutritional yeast. You want to be getting more of this in your diet for the full spectrum of B vitamins. It is so easy to sprinkle 3 tablespoons of this into any of your meals for basically a free multivitamin. Number 8, bone broth for the collagen peptides for your hair, your skin, your joints, and all the minerals and the special amino acids like glycine and proline that are so good for your health. Number 9, seaweed for all the amazing minerals, the iodine for your thyroid, the trace minerals, the chlorophyll which helps detoxification. And number 10, all of the fermented foods, sauerkraut and kimchi for those probiotics, the yogurts like kefir for all those living cultures with the protein, and of course, all the fermented soy products too, like tempeh and natto that give you all the great protein. These are the foods to build your eating plan around. And very quickly, I want to run you through some examples for breakfast, lunch, and dinner of how you can incorporate these. So for breakfast, let's do the classic eggs example. You get 3 high quality, ideally pasture raised eggs. Those egg yolks are very orange, meaning they're nutrient dense. And you can cook these in some ghee, some butter, some avocado oil, and you want to keep that yolk ideally sunny side up so it's not really scrambled and cooked too much. You put that with a side of some avocado, maybe some berries, maybe you saute some greens like arugula, sprinkle on some hemp seeds. Like that meal alone basically covers your entire micronutrient bases just there. Let's say you're more of a carnivore type person, then get 6 ounces of that grass-fed, grass-finished ground beef. Ideally, you get the ancestral blend, which has some of the organ meats in there as well. You spice that up. Maybe you do the avocado. Maybe you do some greens on the side or some berries. Like that meal is phenomenal. And again, every time you get these right kinds of greens in, arugula, dandelion greens, steam some broccoli and cruciferous veggies, it gives you the opportunity to put things on like hemp hearts, like nutritional yeast, like dulse, the seaweed that I talked about for those iodine minerals. So I hope you're starting to see how these puzzle pieces fit together. Lunch, super easy. You can do the salad concept with protein. So you get the base of that arugula or the romaine, low oxalate greens. Extra virgin olive oil, really high quality one that has a little bit of that spice on it. Put some sardines on top. Put some wild salmon, more of that grass-fed, grass-finished beef. You put the protein on top. And you can throw a whole bunch of cool things. Pumpkin seeds on top, more nutritional yeast, salt, pepper, dulse. Maybe you have some purple potatoes or something you can throw in there. Amazing nutrient-rich salad. You can also make these kind of bowls. Whatever protein you made the night before, bring it into the lunch the next day. Put it on the side with some kind of purple potato, steamed broccoli or something like that. Drizzle with more extra virgin olive oil. All of this can be so simple when you put it together. And again, dinner, we like to teach this concept of building a perfect plate. So let's say you get the wild salmon or the grass-fed beef or the tempeh, which is, I'm a huge fan of that fermented soy. And on the side, again, you can do the greens if you want, or you can go carnivore style and just increase that protein portion to like 12 ounces and have a little avocado if you have your full avocado for the day. This type of eating plan covers you so dramatically in most of your micronutrient needs. Now, with that idea in mind, I do want to talk about supplements because there's certain things you're just straight up not going to get from food, like melatonin. Yes, cherries have melatonin, but every time you want to go to sleep, I don't want you to be eating cherries. So now we enter into part 2 of this video. These are the supplements that we're going to cover. I'm going to take them one by one, but I'm going to do it pretty quickly because I value your time. I'm going to give you a quick take on which of these I feel like are necessary, which of these I use on a regular basis, and some general suggestions for you watching this video. Let's get into part 2. The first common supplement is a multivitamin. And I think there's some utility to these, although I don't personally take one now. If you are eating organ meats, if you are eating egg yolks, if you are eating nutritional yeast, you likely do not need a multivitamin. Multivitamins cover you on all the B vitamins, as well as the fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. And all of these are covered in the foods that we talked about. The utility for a multivitamin is if you're a picky eater, you have a restrictive diet, and you're not eating this wide variety of foods I've shared. 2, if you travel and you know you're not getting all the nutrients when you're away from home, cool, because there are these good multivitamins that only cost around 30 to 50 cents per serving, so they're fine. But I will say this, a lot of these multivitamins do not have the natural bioactive forms of these vitamins. They use synthetic forms. So for example, folate, vitamin B9, they use folic acid, which is synthetic, which our body actually needs this methylfolate that's way more active. So there's a benefit to getting your micronutrients from foods as opposed to synthetic vitamins. Same thing with pyridoxine, vitamin B6. Pyridoxine hydrochloride is a supplement that is a vitamin that's put into a lot of supplements. That actually might be damaging to our bodies in high amounts. It can cause neuropathies, whereas if you're getting vitamin B6 from nuts and seeds and natural foods, you're not gonna have that kind of issue. So I don't take a multi. It can be valuable, but I think this is something you can actually wean off over time and focus a little more on the egg yolks, the nutritional yeast for all your B vitamins, and the organ meats. Let's move on to the second one on our list. Number 2, protein powder. This is a supplement I use almost on a daily basis. And I think it's valuable because we know the benefits of a high protein diet. And for reference, this is the amount of protein that I suggest you get on a daily basis. It's around 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram of your body weight. So for me, I'm not as stressed as I used to be about getting maximal protein intake, so I'm shooting for around 120 grams of protein per day. And it helps me to use a scoop of some protein powder, a heaping scoop for 20 to 30 grams, helps my protein target. Every time I work out, I'm doing some protein and creatine post-workout. I get the amino acids, it's good and it's convenient. It is not necessary, but I think it's a wonderful tool. It's great when I travel. Guess what I put in a little baggie? Protein powder with some hemp seeds, some chia seeds, some creatine. And I have a little baggie, so anytime I'm out in the world, I can easily get a piece of fruit, pair it with some protein, and I have a meal on the fly. I also travel with sardines as well, like so easy to get some tin of sardines on the fly, omega-3s, protein, healthy fats from the olive oil. This is really convenient stuff. So I went from protein powder to sardines, but you get the idea. Protein powder I think has a lot of utility, but it's not necessary. Let's move on to the next one on the list. Number 3, omega-3s. Speaking of sardines, one of the best sources in the world, but also the other kinds of fish, wild salmon, mackerel. This is a supplement that I actually don't think you need to take on a daily basis. The research is pretty clear. You do need the omega-3s, but pulsing them a few times a week is totally fine. A tin of sardines that I've talked about has around 2 grams of omega-3s from those EPA and DHA rich sources. If you're including things like hemp seeds, flax seeds, chia seeds, and sprinkling on all those meals, you get the plant-based ALA that can be converted in your body to EPA and DHA. So you do not need to take omega-3 supplements. Now, there's a problem with a lot of omega-3 supplements is they get oxidized and they're stored for long periods of time. And omega-3s are these very precious fats that are very easily oxidized. So getting it from whole food sources is often optimal. Now, on our Fit Father and Fit Mother store, we have a very high quality omega-3 based supplement. If you're looking for one, that's an option. My favorite omega-3 supplements though probably is cod liver oil, honestly. Getting it in a glass bottle refrigerated at a store, because you're not just getting the omega-3s, you're getting vitamin A, D, E, all a bunch of these fat soluble vitamins with the omega-3s, but of course you can just eat fish. So this one I think is one you can skip, but do get your omega-3s. Very, very essential for health. Let's move on to the next supplement. Next up is probiotics. This is a supplement that I think is only good if you've just taken antibiotics or if you have an active digestive issue that you're looking to improve. My personal take is probiotics are something that is so good and easy to get from food-based sources. And I want you to be focusing on probiotic containing foods, and I think you need to pick and figure out what your go-to probiotic is. Do you like raw sauerkraut? Kimchi, which is the spicier version of that? Do you like natto, fermented soybeans, fermented pickles, miso? Figure out what those are. I'll tell you, this past year, I began making my own kefir, which is that live cultured yogurt with the ancient probiotic strains, and it changed my life and my digestive tract. I'm sensitive to dairy, so I actually do it with the coconut kefir, and I make it. It's on my countertop. I'm constantly making it, and I drink like a half a cup to a cup every single day. It has changed the game on my digestive tract. So do you have a go-to probiotic? If not, get that in your diet. And the other thing too is once you have good culture throughout your GI tract, then you're just feeding your body prebiotic fiber. The fiber that comes from all the different kind of plant-based foods feeds your gut bacteria. So things like apples, things like broccoli, things like cacao, pomegranate, green tip bananas, artichokes, dandelion greens. These give your body the prebiotic fiber to keep that good GI tract. And right now, I'll say this, if you're having poops that you need to do a lot of wiping on, they're like kind of damp, heat, like smearing, and you're not taking these well-formed, easy poops, there's optimization that you could do to your GI tract. The goal would be to have multiple bowel movements per day that you don't need to wipe much on. That is a sign of good GI tract health. Let's move on to the next supplement. Calcium. This is a supplement that if you're taking, honestly, you could be completely getting from your food. Those sardines I've been talking about are one of the best sources of calcium because the bones are in there. Dark green leafy vegetables, arugula, bok choy, cruciferous vegetables, raw dairy, if you can tolerate dairy, a wonderful source of calcium. This is one that I don't think you actually need to supplement with. Now, if your doctor says you need to for some specific reason, you're working on osteoporosis or something like that, like I get it. But for most people, calcium is something you're gonna very easily meet your needs if you're eating the right kinds of foods. And when you eat these foods that are rich in calcium, you're also getting the magnesium, you're also getting the vitamin D. If you're eating these fermented foods, you're getting the vitamin K2, which helps with calcium metabolism. Vitamin K2 in those fermented foods takes calcium out of the arteries, deposits it into the bones. That's the amazing thing about foods-based nutrition. You get the concert and the symphony of these micronutrients. So calcium is one I would personally pass on unless you have a very strong reason for doing so. Let's move on to the next supplement on this list. Magnesium, one of the most important minerals that many people are deficient in. We're deficient because we're not eating enough fruits and veggies that have magnesium. Some of the high magnesium foods are cacao. I have this on a daily basis. Dark green leafies. Seeds like pumpkin seeds are great in magnesium as well. Now, this is a supplement that I think many people feel benefit from taking. And the forms of magnesium that I recommend if you do want to supplement are magnesium bisglycinate, magnesium malate, or if you're really interested in cognitive performance, magnesium L-threonate. Magnesium L-threonate crosses the blood-brain barrier. So this is an easy supplement to take, and it does typically give most people some benefits. People find lower stress, good amount of sleep. I get mine from whole foods based. I do occasionally take a magnesium L-threonate when I want to be very cognitively sharp. So it's a mixed bag. If you're taking magnesium right now, I wouldn't say stop taking it. Make sure you're taking the right kind of forms. Let's move on to the next supplement on this list. Creatine Monohydrate. This is one of those supplements I do recommend you take. We can get creatine from foods, but it would take around multiple pounds of muscle meat like grass-fed beef or lamb to get the amount of creatine that's really beneficial. And I think the research is showing that higher creatine intakes, anywhere from 3 to 5 grams, some people even taking 10 grams per day, gives a lot of benefits. It increases ATP, it's good for cognitive health, it improves muscle building, and it's very safe for the vast majority of people. This is a supplement I take on a daily basis. I take it in the morning, I take around 5 to 10 grams of creatine, and I'm not like super dialed into how much I have. Sometimes I just take the scooper, I put it in the water, and I drink it back, and I got my creatine for the day. If I'm low on sleep and I want to really increase my cognitive performance, I take a little bit more. This is something that's worth supplementing. It's relatively inexpensive. I do recommend you get creatine into your diet. Doesn't really matter when you take it, just that you do, and you do it on a regular basis. Let's move on to the next supplement. Iron. This is found in liver, in muscle meats, in shellfish. I would say this is a supplement that you do not need to take unless you're working with your doctor and there's a big reason. If you have very, very heavy periods, if you have a history of specific kinds of anemia and then you need a supplement of iron, that's fine. I get that. And the specific form I recommend was iron bisglycinate, which is very easy to absorb, easier on the GI tract. But if you are eating a wide variety of foods that we talked about on this list, you do not need to supplement with iron. It is found from animal-based sources and plant-based sources, and iron is one of those supplements that if you take too much, can cause problems. It can cause liver damage. It can increase the likelihood of certain infections. So I'm not the biggest fan of iron supplements, but there are certain medical cases where it is advised. Let's move on to the next supplement. Collagen and collagen peptides. This is a supplement that is not necessary if on a daily basis and very often you're preparing bone broth, but most people aren't. And there's so many benefits to getting these collagen peptides into your diet that it's really convenient to get a quality multi-source collagen supplement. We have an amazing one on our Fit Father and Fit Mother store that is multi-source from grass-fed, grass-finished meats, wild-caught fish, eggshell membrane. It's a multi-source collagen because there's many different types of collagen. But if you're someone who likes to cook and you can make some bone broths or chicken stocks and really do that kind of stuff, then you do not need to supplement with this, but there is benefit. And there's even some new research that's showing that post-workout, getting whey protein paired with collagen protein increases muscle protein synthesis because we get different amino acid profiles from the muscle meats as well as the connective tissue from the collagen. So really nice to increase. And if you're getting older, you want to improve your skin health, you don't want to wrinkle, you want your joints to be healthy, a collagen supplement is probably the most convenient way to be consistent. Let's move on to the final two on this list. Curcumin, or curcuminoids, the bioactive compounds in the spice turmeric. Turmeric is the orange yellow spice that makes mustard orange, is used in a lot of Indian cooking. It has these curcuminoids that are potent anti-inflammatory compounds, good for anti-cancer, good for digestive health. This is something that's good to supplement with because just because you threw turmeric into your food, it's actually very poorly absorbed. Only about 10% of turmeric powder itself has the curcuminoids, and those are poorly absorbed. So if you want the benefits, the anti-inflammatory effects of the curcuminoids, it's best to take a standardized curcumin supplement. We have an amazing one, our Fit Father, Fit Mother store. If you're just getting a general one on Amazon, you want to make sure that yours is standardized to 90% plus curcuminoids so you're actually getting the benefits and the effects. So that's something I say. I also want to make a plug here for you starting to incorporate more ginger into your life. Go to the grocery store, buy ginger root, chop it up, include it with your meals. It's another powerful anti-inflammatory compound that doesn't cost a lot of money and it's very good. So curcumin supplements are good, especially if you have joint concerns, you want to decrease pain in your body, and you want to prevent cancer. That can be a helpful supplement. On to our final one. Last but certainly not least, melatonin. This is something that's good to have around the house. I'm not one of these people that suggests you take melatonin every single night, but I think it's good to have around for a couple different reasons. One, obviously, melatonin can help reset circadian rhythm and improve sleep in some people. You gotta find the dose that works well for you. Some people need very high doses, some people are very sensitive. Start off with 1 milligram and work your way up. I think most people find that between 1 and 5 milligrams is a good dose of melatonin. Anytime you're traveling, you wanna reset your circadian rhythm, you're a little extra stressed, you want a little help extra sleeping, melatonin is nice to take before bed. It's found in some foods, but it's just not practical to be eating foods and to get the melatonin in the amount that you need. What is very interesting, anytime you're sick, increasing your melatonin can help your immune system. Your white blood cells have melatonin receptors. And what we found is in a lot of different viral infections, increasing vitamin D, vitamin A, and melatonin can be a great cocktail for improving your natural immune function. So that's something to consider. Feeling a little sick, feeling a little stressed, bump up the melatonin. That's something I do. So I hope you found this valuable. And our concept here is that we go food-based first, and then we fill in the gap with a couple supplements that are useful, right? This is the balanced approach. And I'd say this, if you're at a point where you have this full medicine cabinet versus a bunch of different things, go through the intentional process of paring back and see how you actually feel. And if there's any foods on this list that you're not eating but you feel curious and interested in, get it into your diet. I'm gonna make a very strong suggestion, another plug. There is a good chance you're not eating enough sardines or nutritional yeast or avocados. Just doing one of those things is gonna dramatically improve your health. What I do with my daughter, she's a young kid, she likes to eat mac and cheese. I throw grass-fed butter in her mac and cheese with nutritional yeast. And she's basically getting a multivitamin with extra protein from the nutritional yeast. Phenomenal. These little extra hacks and distinctions can make a huge difference. And if you want help dialing in your perfect nutrition plan, one that's simple, delicious, sustainable, works for you and your family, consider joining our Fit Father and Fit Mother programs. We've helped over 60,000 parents in over 100 countries in our programs. You can see some of the results right here of our program members. They're losing weight, they're building muscle, they're turning back the clock on their aging because they're focusing on whole foods nutrition, simple and sustainable exercise, and accountability with our team and our community where we keep them on track. So if you want to join, check out the links below in the description. We also have a free 1-week plan you can join to get access to our email list. We'll email you all this great stuff over the course of a week, and we launch a new 6-week foundations program every month, so check that out in the description. This is Dr. Anthony Balduzzi signing off. Thank you so much for joining me in this video today. Hope you got something very valuable. If you like this, hit the like button. Please, it helps me in this channel out so much, and I appreciate you taking a second just to click that one button if you found this video valuable. And if you're not subscribed to our channel already, please do so as well, because it tells your algorithm that you want more of my videos. I'm publishing amazing, well-researched videos like this every single week that are geared to help you improve your health and be around for your family long term. So subscribe, hit the like button. I'll see you around the channels. I hope to see you in our programs one day, my friend, and I'll talk to you very soon.